Anderson, Primal 1806, Budgie, Hey You, That Guy Over There, known by many names. Just driving home, thought I'd shoot a vid because I got this new snazzy holder thingy for my phone, and was using it mostly to watch out the front of the car, and thought, actually I could probably video myself and that'd be really just as about as exciting as anything anyone on the internet could ever want. But I just want to share with you sort of 9 things, which is basically actually 3 groupings of 3 things that I thought would be rather useful about pregnancy, birth, and then after the birth, raising a baby, like the early times. So I'm talking 12 months from conception through to, them being a couple of months old. So pregnancy, 3 things you should know. First one, things change. Her body changes, sex gets weird, like good weird, but just difficult and weird and stuff. And it's you know what I mean when you get there. If you're too young to be having the sex, maybe you should go watch something else. But her body changes in a phenomenal way. And I remember turning to my wife while she was pregnant, and just this development that we'd had with this growing belly and this thing in there that would kick around, and whose heartbeat I could hear, and who would listen to music and jiggle to it when he liked it, and didn't when he didn't, and that sort of thing. You have this real attachment to this belly thing, and you're like, I remember turning to Hannah and saying, I think I'm really going to miss your belly when you give birth. And she's like, really? I said, I'm going to be glad to be rid of it. Like, this 9 months of ridiculously weird woman I'm going to be glad that that's gone in a way, but I'm also going to miss it because it was kind of nice. It was this real contented time for me. I just remember being really, really contented about it. It's like, so much had happened in our relationship and our lives, and we got to this point and things were different, and it was just nice. So, things change, your body changes, your relationship changes. It's nice. And then, so that's the first one. The second one is, she gets moody. She gets moody. Not in the way, like everyone thinks, they'd be crazy all the time. Those pregnant ladies be cray-cray, I think all the young kids say. But that isn't quite true. I think what it is, there's just like some extreme of emotions. So, for my wife, she'll be upset by something and she would get kind of angry about it and a bit frustrated by, me not doing something she'd asked for, or that sort of thing, as quickly as she would like, or as slowly as I would like. I'm not always innocent, that's for sure. I'm not an angel, I don't have a halo. And she would get angry about that, and then within like the same sentence she would be like, rah, 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 and then she would be like, I love you. It's really nice. But they're not emotionally crazy, they're just like, have all these hormones and pheromones and all sorts of crazy stuff going on in their body that you need to be a bit sensitive about, but it's kind of wonderful in its own way. And the third thing you need to know about pregnancy is you've got to maintain the relationship. You've got to keep on top of your relationship with your partner or wife, to make sure that you continue to develop the relationship that you have, so that it's still there when you're giving birth. You don't want to be 2 independent people. You want to continue to work together to become this amazing married unit. You're not 2 individuals thrust together, you're 2 individuals learning to become 1 unit. So I think that's important to remember. Giving birth, going to the hospital, some things you should know. Dudes, you don't have to be useless. That's the first thing. There's lots of good material out there about what a man can do during giving birth. So dudes, you don't need to be useless. You can encourage your wife to do all the reading and that sort of thing that she wants to do, but don't get strung out on I'm just going to stand there and not annoy my wife while she gives birth. Because we've got all the stereotypical movie scenes where it's like, don't touch me, and that sort of thing, and that can happen, and I'll get to that in a second. But just do something for yourself. Like, I remember reading with Hannah, we were in the car, we worked together, which was quite lucky for us. Drive to and from work, and we would read this book, and when we didn't read it on the way to and from work, we would read it at home in bed together, called Birth Skills by Master Juju, actually think the name is Juju Sundin, but anyway, check it out. And it's about, how a woman can manage pain and what a husband can do to help her through that, whether or not she takes drugs or whether or not she does. It's not really picking on your choice of medication. It's more more talking to you about what you can do to help manage the pain, and what a man can do to not feel useless when his wife is in the middle of a contraction and it's insane what happens. And when you look at your wife while she's in the middle of a contraction, or your partner as the case may be, you will understand a whole new appreciation for your wife or partner. Second thing you need to know about giving birth is anything that is said is not admissible in a court of law. What happens in the birthing suite stays in the birthing suite, unless it's really, really sweet and it's like the I love you bits and we're cuddling our baby and that sort of thing. Because I remember, the funny thing is, you remember, she doesn't. She's in the middle of the most excruciating muscular wear and pain that she's ever been through. Like, because it's not tearing or shredding or hurting pain. It's a muscular working pain. So when you go and do a hard workout, you end up being really sore. Now imagine you try and exercise while you're now really sore. It hurts. It just hurts and hurts and hurts, and you don't want to keep doing it. Now imagine you were forced to keep doing it. Imagine you were on a treadmill after you'd just done a marathon and there was some blades behind you, but you have to keep walking regardless of the pain that your legs and your back and your joints are feeling. That's what a woman's going through. She's just being forced to go through this excruciating, healthy, in inverted commas, pain. So sometimes she says some crazy things, like, but you're not allowed to bring them up, and she won't remember them if you do. So I'm there. My wife's trying to make it between the birthing, suite area and the toilet in there, and I'm helping her through that. And a contraction hit her halfway, and I'm trying to hold her up and support her, and she's just like, "Don't touch me! Don't try and make me feel better." And I'm like, okay. So I just stood there, and she held on to me, went through her contraction, and then she could get on with the job of doing what she needed to do. And I brought it up with her later, and she was like, "I don't remember that. I just don't remember that." Did I say that? Did I? Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't bring it up. If something's said that seems to you like it's mean and nasty, it's because she's doing some intense work, man, and you need to just chill out. Third thing you need to know: do whatever is essential for the health and well-being of your wife first, and then the baby. That sounds a bit harsh. Oh, but the baby. Everyone thinks of the baby. Don't worry, there's whole nursing stuff that you need to look out for your missus. You get there. If there are complications and it's a choice between bub and mum, you choose mum. I know that sounds really harsh, but you don't know the little person yet. They haven't had a life. All that sort of thing. Yes, everyone will miss them, but mum comes first, because she is your all. She is your partner. She is the person who you're going to have this baby with. You need to make sure she is as healthy as possible. Bub's second. Okay? That's my point of view. You may have a different one, but chances are they'll both come out healthy anyway. That's the way modern science and medicine is. So you don't need to stress about that. Just mum first, baby second, and do whatever's necessary to get them both out happy and healthy. Alright, after birth, you've got a baby. 3 things you need to know. The first one is enjoy the moments. Just when it's quiet and it's you, just be there with your new family. I think there's nothing more fantastic as your first drive home from the hospital and your first sit down as a family when you walk in the house and you're just like, we walked into this house as something different. We're no longer a couple. We're no longer just Caleb and Hannah. We're no longer just husband and wife. We're now mum and dad and son, or daughter in your case maybe. And you just need to enjoy those moments. You just need to remember that between the crying and the waking up at midnight and all that sort of stuff, just to enjoy the quiet moments. Second thing, to make your time as easy as possible, I highly recommend Dunstan baby language. I just fluked upon it when I was on call to a guy at work. Yes, I'm doing this because this is my phone. It's like the gadget phone, all right. And I was on a call with a dude at work, and my baby son was just screaming his head off. I'd taken him for a walk because mum was going a bit mental, and you need to do these things for mums sometimes. They don't ever want to leave their baby in the initial stages, but you've got to help them. Say, you go for sleep, I'll take him for a walk. If they've been crying long enough, chances are mum's going to say, fine, please take him for a walk. So I'm on this walk, and you get a call from a guy at work while I'm on leave, and he hears the cry, and he goes, that sounds like, lower intestinal wind, if you believe in that Dunstan baby language thing. If you don't, that's cool. And I'm just like, that's a pretty throwaway comment. So I pick up the little dude, start patting him, and lo and behold, he lets out the biggest fart I think I've ever heard him ever do. And I stopped crying. Went to bed, happy as Larry. And it was just like, maybe we should look up this Dunstan baby language thing. Did it the other day, and already within a couple of days, it gives mum a sense of confidence, it gives dad a sense of confidence of what to do and how to respond to a baby's noises. I'm not going to give you all the details. Get on the internet and buy the thing. $30 is worth your sleep and sanity. Yeah, sorry, Dunstan baby language, that's the second thing to know after giving birth. Third thing to know is mum and dad still need to spend time together. You're still a unit, despite the fact that you've now got this third wheel that you don't know what to do with. That's because you've learned all that you need to do. But mum and dad, you need to make time for mum. You might want to do your things, and I like to do my things. I end up doing mine after 10 o'clock to midnight to 2 a.m. in the morning. I send mum off to bed, but I spend time with Bub when I get home, and I spend time with mum when I get home, and then I do my own thing if I've got any energy left. You need to make time for mum. You'll get your time, don't worry, you'll get it back, but you've got to make time for you and mum and your relationship together, because if you two aren't working, then the baby doesn't work. The kids don't work, they don't grow up happy and healthy. You've always got to make time for, if you work on your relationship, you don't need to worry about whether or not you discipline the kids right or whether or not you're doing the right thing by them. They will grow up okay so long as mum and dad are good. All the great parents that I've noticed that I respect, all the ones who I've looked at who I don't necessarily respect, but they've got great kids and they're a good couple, they're normally ones who they focus on their relationship as mum and dad. They do what they need to do together, and the kids aren't secondary. That's not the right way to look at it, but their relationship is the primary thing. That's why you got married in the first place. That's why you got into a relationship in the first place. So you've got to maintain that. And that love that you have for one another, that relationship that you build, that creates a security for the kids, and then they feel safe and secure and do well in life. And I can say that for most of my life that was the case with my parents. Later on, my late teens, not so good, marital problems, that sort of thing. But as I look around at all the great couples and all the good kids, it seems to be the way. Mum and dad spend a lot of time with one another, invested in their relationship, that sort of thing. Don't worry, you'll get your time, you'll get your weekends away with the boys, you'll get to go to the cigar bars and drink scotch and rum and whatever it is you like. But make sure, like before birth, during pregnancy you make time for you and mum and your relationship. You've got to do it after birth. Okay? It's a continuous thing in a relationship. You've just got to keep doing it. So that's my little rant about 9 things you should know, otherwise known as 3 groupings of 3 things. Hope it was useful. If it wasn't, don't bother liking or subscribing or anything. But yeah, I'm Primal 806, and I'll probably see you online. Too many.
Changing. Target down. Kill confirmed.
I like it. Stacks. Pick them up.
Friendly UAV inbound.
Like running in pairs or something.
Get moving. Friendly lightning strike inbound. Kill confirmed.
Stacks, boys.
Hellstorm missile inbound.